Hey cutie pies, this is Lanikia and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the Days of Our Lives edition. Today is May the 5th, 2022. Happy Cinco de Mayo to those of you who celebrate. All right, let's get right into it. You know how we do on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to have to give this like a 7.5. It was solid. It was a solid episode. All right. So we see that, let me just wrap stories. So okay, let me go with Lonnie's story, Lonnie and Eli. So Eli is still in the hospital and they're wanting him to wake up, and Paulina is just encouraging Lonnie, telling her he will wake up. This strong man, he's gonna wake up. And so TR comes in with flowers, and Paulina said, "Oh well, everybody gonna think Eli's special." But anyways, he comes in with flowers and said, and he wants to know. He was like, "Have they said anything about Eli maybe waking up? Have they done anything?" And no, the news they haven't said any changes. But Paulina is like, "I just feel it. He's gonna wake up." And so then Abe comes in, and he like, "Oh, I thought it was supposed to be a certain number of people in the room." And so Paulina said, "Don't worry," because he was looking at Tr like, "What you doing in here? Well, you can go." And so then Paulina says, "Don't worry about it. I need to go anyway. So I got to go to the bathroom or something anyway. So I'll leave." So she leaves, and he said, Abe says, "Was it something I said?" And TR says, "No, but it was something you did." And Abe said, "Excuse me, what are you talking about?" And he tells him, Paulina told him about, Abe telling her that he could never be with her and everything. And he says, "Excuse me, sir, that has nothing to do with you." And then TR was like, "Well, I care deeply for Paulina." And so Abe and TR start going back and forth, right? And Lonnie says, "Wait a minute, my husband is right here trying to fight for his life, and y'all going back and forth in front of him, and just period. This is uncalled for and it's not needed right now." So Abe was like, "I'm sorry," or whatever. And TR gets a phone call, and he says, "It's my California broker or something, and I have to go take this." And Abe was like, "Got a phone call. It was more important than staying here and supporting you." I said, "Abe, now listen, you ain't been at the hospital the whole time either. Don't do that. Don't do that, girl. So don't do that." So then Abe is all gone, all gone, all done. So then Abe is just like, "I don't trust the man." And she says, "He's done nothing." Lonnie says, "He's done nothing that shows he can be trusted." Girl, stop. And he said, "I don't care. I still don't trust this man or whatever." Because he says, "I've talked to Nicole and I talked to Kate, and they say abusers will always be abusers." And she said, "Yeah, most of the time that's true. In my training as a police officer has taught me that, but there is a small percentage that change." He said, "You think he in the small percentage that changes?" And she was like, "You never know." She just want to be hopeful, and she's like, "He is my dad." And he said, "And they're his grandchildren." He said, they're my grandchildren too." He said, "And I don't want him around them because I don't think he's changed, and I think he's using people." And she says, "Well, Beth said he wasn't using drugs again with her, and he wasn't beating her." Then she said, "Well, actually, Beth came to the hospital, and she was going to tell me something." Abe said, "You need to get her on the horn and see what she wanted to tell you." So then Laney decides to call Beth. Now Beth is in the hospital with Trip because Tr. I thought he had killed her, but apparently he just beat her bad. He just beat her real bad, which no better. I mean, it's better than death, but still, but it's not good to be beat. But anyway, so Trip is like, "Man, who did this to you? Like, tell me who did. I want to help you. Like, who did this or whatever." And she won't tell him or anything. So he was like, the hospital, they make us ask us you these questions, and he was just concerned seeing her. And she said she tripped and fell or whatever. And he was like, "Ma'am, I know you didn't trip and fall. Who did this?" And so she won't tell him. And she said, "I just need something for the pain." And he looks at her and he just like, "Okay, I'm gonna give you something for the pain." But you could tell he was concerned about her. So he gives her something for the pain or whatnot, and so she gone about her business. Now she in the hospital, and TR gets off his phone call. Now his phone call sounded very interesting because whoever he owed money to is putting a squeeze on him. And he was like, "Give me a little bit longer and I'll get the money." And he said, "Hello, hello." They hung up on him. "I don't think you got time, sir." But anyway, so he see Paulina and he said, "What you doing here?" And she said, "I am in pain. I had to come get something because you beat me." And she, lift her thing up. And TR said, if you go near Lonnie, or if you tell anybody what I did to you, you better get out of town. Because if you go near Lonnie or you tell anybody what I did to you, I'll kill you. You hear me? And I said, okay, Ike Turner. But Belle says, okay, I'm out of town because clearly you're crazy. But she did tell him, she said, Paulina is smarter than you think, and you're not just gonna get that money out of her. And even if you got that money out of her, if you think she's gonna let you just take some money and go, you're quite mistaken. And he said, don't you worry about it. What you do is get out of town or whatever. And she's like, I'm out. So she get on the elevator and she leaves. Now by this time, Lonnie calls Beth, and Beth booked her flight, and she said, oh, you got me on the next flight out in the morning? All right, cool. No, no, no. So she said, you got me on the next flight out? Okay, cool. And so then Lonnie calls her and she says, wasn't there something you wanted to tell me? And Beth says, mm-mm, I'm cool, because she thinks about TR's threat. And she said, I'm going to California to mind my business and be out of this. And so then Lonnie was like, okay. So then we see that Paulina saw Beth getting on the elevator, and she tells TR, ain't that your ex? She said, I didn't see her face, but I saw her from the back or whatever. I said, well, how you see her back, but you didn't see her face? Because the woman turned around. But okay, I'm gonna go with you, Paulina. And she said, what's going on with her? And he said, she just up and quit the show. And she said, up and quit the show. And he said, yeah. So I was thinking Chanel could get the role again, or whatever. She said, yeah, Chanel at in the kitchen or cafeteria or whatever, but she can go ahead and get the role. You can go ahead and talk to her or whatever. And he was like, okay. So then we see that Paulina had talked to Chanel earlier, because Chanel had been with Johnny earlier, because she met him at the hospital, and she informed Johnny that Sierra was missing, and it was because of Allie. Allie kidnapped the baby because the devil still wants the baby. He was like, I got to go get Allie. So Paulina, when she had left the hospital room earlier with Lonnie and them, she sees Chanel and Johnny hugging up, and she says, oh, no, 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 no. What are y'all doing? No, you cannot be with him, and you leave this evil twin alone or whatever. And she was like, Johnny said, Chanel, talk to your mama, I got to go. So Paulina is like, what are you doing with Johnny? And Chanel tells her, Johnny was possessed by the devil, and so was Allie. So those things they did with me to me was not them. Uh-huh. It was the devil. Right. It was the devil who did that or whatever. And she says, maybe I should go help Johnny. And Paulina was me. You leave that family and the devil possessed self alone. Stop trying to bother them or whatever. And she said, you come on to the cafeteria with me and get something to eat. And so she said, okay. Okay, mama. So she go on and get something to eat. And so that's why Paulina told TR she in the cafeteria or whatever. So then, while Beth got off, when Lonnie got off the phone with Beth or whatever, she was really, because she was like, it's interesting. Now she said she has nothing to say, but it sounds like she wasn't being truthful. And then she's just talking to Eli like, I want to know who did this to you. I want you to wake up. I want you to be here and everything. And then Eli wakes up. I said, mark your days, TR. Mark your days, because they about to find out what's going on with you. So that's their storyline, right? All right, so then we go over here to who is it? Ben and Susan. So Ben is with Susan, and she said, okay, we're gonna try to connect with Sierra. We're gonna try to use our connection. So Sierra is still with Allie, and Allie's still acting weird as crap to Sierra, but Sierra not really saying too much or whatever. So Sierra has went to sleep, and Allie is somewhere. But anyways, Susan tells Ben, grab this. I can't remember what it was, but grab this. I think it was helmet or something like that. And he said, she said, talk to Sierra. So he's like, Sierra is Ben. I'm alive. And she said, Ben, and here come Allie. Wake up, girl. And I said, wake up. You ain't doing this today. And so Ben said, we lost our connection. We connected. We lost our connection. And Susan said, oh, that was just the devil. Let's try to connect again. So they link up, and they can try to use their connection again. And Sierra is like, do you hear that? Do you hear that? And she said, that's Ben. But before that, Sierra said, I want to know something. Like, she was like, why? I know that was Ben who was talking to me. We need to go find him. And she was like, no, Rafe said us to stay here. She said, Sierra was like, Ellie, I want to know why the police not here. If Evan is such a threat and he's on the loose, why are the police that Rafe said that he was going to bring not here? And Ellie said, oh, they came earlier. And Sierra said, what? And she said, yeah, they came early while you was asleep. And she said, well, why you didn't wake me up? I thought it was better for you to get your rest. And she said, no, girl, I wanted to talk to them. And so Allie said, oh, I'm sorry. And Sierra said, well, where are they now? She said, because Sierra I feel like it's starting to be like suspicious of Allie. And she said, they're at the docks because, there's only one way in. So they guard the docks or whatever. And she said, okay, cool. Let's walk down and talk to a man. And she was like, girl, no. That you don't need to go. They said don't come down, and the best thing for us to do is stay in here and stay safe. And so Sierra was like, all right, but then so then Ben connects again because Susan helps him. And he connects again, and they're talking. And he and Sierra connect, and they can see each other, and they're talking. And he like Ben is like, Sierra, this is Ben. Don't think I'm dead. I'm not dead and everything. And she was like, I knew it. I knew you weren't dead and all that. Okay, cool, 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 cool. And so then he was like, there's one thing I need to know. Like, where are you? I'm coming for you. Where are you? And she says, I'm right in front of you. I said, girl. I said, this gotta be the devil. But it wasn't. It was really Sierra talking about I'm right in front of you. And then when she was finna say where exactly she was, Ellie said, nope. She cut the connection again. And I said, Sierra, this is your fault right now because it's still a wasted time talking about I'm right in front of you. I could touch you. You should have said I am in Horton Cabin. Come get me. But no, y'all try to be all Romeo and Juliet with the stuff. Exactly. So then Allie cuts the connection or whatever, and Sierra was like, it doesn't matter. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. He's alive. Come on, Allie. And Allie said, we ain't going nowhere. She said, wait a minute, Allie, I'm not your prisoner. And Sierra said, I'm about to go and I'm fine Ben. I'm about to go get my man. And Lord, this girl water broke. You ain't going nowhere, girl. So then Ben is like, the connection got cut. And she said, ooh, that devil. That's Susan. Ooh, that devil. And so then Jody comes and she give him a big hug. And they was catching Jody up on everything. And they said, oh, Susan said, oh, you have a connection to Sierra. Let's go ahead and use that connection to try to get with Sierra or connect. Excuse me. You got Johnny and Allie's twin connection. We can use that. And that was the Days of Our Lives today, guys. That was Days of Our Lives today. So yeah, I don't know. There's supposed to be something happen with the baby. Like we know Sierra's gonna end up having a baby, but I don't know if they're gonna make it there in time. But I don't like when they do storylines with children. Like I'm not here for this. Y'all need to wrap this up. And I read that little girl Allie was like, I was so happy I got to get to play the demon. Do y'all know? Look at y'all fans post because we sick of this storyline. But I'm here for the Eli and TR storyline. I think it's about time y'all wrap that up. But that was Days of Our Lives today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow for the final episode of the week.